For us, it's environment finaling, where like it all comes together in
Yeah.
terms of the look of the whole environment. You're sitting in a theater chair or watching it on screen, and you're like, oh wow, I'm at Disney reviewing a Disney movie. Those are the moments to me that like click. I can't believe I'm here.
On this week's episode, I'm sitting down with my longtime friend and fellow Jersey native, Sari Rodrig. Sari is a look development and texture artist who's worked on American Horror Story, Diablo 4 cinematics, Disney's Wish, and is currently the look development supervisor on Zootopia 2. We talk about what makes a texture believable, everything from skin and blood to plants and environments, and how all the little details are what really sells a scene. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it.
You have the Phil and Lil.
Phil and Lil.
Where'd you get that?
eBay.
Stop. No way.
Want to know how much it was?
No. Okay, go ahead.
$18.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's a real sell.
That's a real sell. And I had one of the directors from Rugrats here, and he was like, yeah, I think that's from this episode. I'm like, great. I didn't know where it was from. I just bought it for $18 and was like, I love Rugrats.
Okay. This has literally changed some things for me. I'm going to have to peruse eBay for sells.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. They got them all over the place.
Really?
It depends on what you're looking for. What show was your favorite show what's like your Nickelodeon show?
Oh, well, I was scared of Rocko's Modern Life most of the time. Invader Zim was not for me.
The scary ones.
Those are really scary. Real Monsters, SpongeBob, of course, was I was a little older by the time that came out.
Yeah.
And then I think there's got to be some Rugrats.
Yeah.
Pum, 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 pum.
Bum,
Rocket Power.
Yeah. Oh, Rocket Power. Woogity, 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 woogity.
Woogity, woogity, woogity. Yes, of course. Rocket Power's great.
And being from the East Coast, the idea of Rocket Power was so
foreign.
Yes.
I was like, where is this place?
Where is it?
Where are these people from?
And we were like, California. That's what we found.
Were they California?
They're Californians.
No.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Hawaii.
Yeah, that's all the skateboarding.
Yeah, it's like the surf folk.
Surfing, skateboarding,
very, very cool.
rollerblading. Okay. Yeah.
Go California. Yeah, Kablam was a good one for me.
Yeah.
I loved Kablam. I loved a Kablam moment. Also weird. That was a weird one.
Yeah. There's a few weird ones.
I love a Kablam cell.
There you go.
Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog was another. That was
scared me a little as well.
Scary though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed, and Eddie. Cartoon Network.
Loved Ed, and Eddie.
I mean, the Plank.
Plank is
Who is she? What a star. Plank was a star. Yeah, I remember watching these cartoons as a kid. I'm like, oh, these are fantastic. They're like such comfort. You know?
Eddie.
That's really good.
Thank you.
That just brought something back.
Like,
yeah, I was like, whoa.
Buttered toast gravy.
What? You are that show. That's
it's
crazy.
Just him.
Wait, what year were you born?
Oh, 1993?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 90.
Okay. There you go. Same.
Middle millennials.
Yeah.
It's a very niche. I think 90 to 93, 94 is the cusp.
Yeah.
There's some like memes in there and things that are like such throwbacks that only that core group of people understand.
True.
My best friends were born 90, 91.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing. There's like very few niche things like Angela Anaconda. No one remembers that show.
Yeah.
And it's like a little, or the offbeats, like those random shorts that Nickelodeon did. So good. Yeah.
And then just all the cultural stuff too. Like there's
100%.
like the Furbies and things
Oh my
like
God.
that.
I have a Furby right now.
You still have one?
She goes off in the middle of the night. Still. To this day. Well, I bought one from, speaking of eBay, I bought a Furby from eBay, 1998. She named herself. Her name's Coco.
Oh, I had a Coco too.
You did?
I did.
That's wild.
Many years ago.
Wow.
And she would go, Coco.
Yes.
Nightmare
Mine goes,
fuel.
me, Coco, Dolu. And I'm like, oh. Sometimes, this might sound bougie. It's not that bougie. But the cleaning person, when she comes in and she has to like clean the Furby, I'm like, girl, don't worry. You don't have to touch that shelf. Don't touch the shelf. And then she wakes up. Coco wakes up out of cryo sleep she's been in for like a year and a half.
Don't they like freak out when they wake up?
Yeah, she's like, oh, oop. And then she's like tired because she's been sleeping.
Right.
And she's hungry. I'm like, what the fuck? No wonder they banned these things in 98.
You're like, it's like I have a child,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
a very furry child.
Yeah, no one likes her. But she's there. She'll be part of the household
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, she always is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had Coco for years. She lived in the basement, and it would scare the crap out of you every time you go into the basement because she'd wake up and go, whoa! And you're like,
yes. And you're like, oh my God. You're like up out of sleep. You hear the Furby in the middle of the night.
From the basement.
So scary.
Calling
From the
to you. Yeah.
Basements aren't a thing in California.
That's true.
I've heard.
It's
crazy.
because of the earthquakes is what I always hear also.
I heard that it's from the earthquakes as well.
There is that one movie, though. I think it's Zodiac. They're trying to find a murderer. And the whole movie, they're trying to find the murderer. And then they finally find a house that has a basement in California. And they're like, that's weird.
That is weird.
There's not basements in California.
Do they say that in the movie?
Yeah. It's like a version. They say a version of that.
Sure.
When I watched that movie, I'm like, oh, right. There aren't.
Because now we're in California.
Now we're here. Now we live here. We're both East Coasters.
We're both East Coasters.
And
both from the good old Jersey.
Both from Jersey. Which part of Jersey are you from?
Monmouth County.
Oh, me too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we must have had this discussion.
We must
many
have
times.
at some point. There's a restaurant I go back to every time I visit.
Oh, yeah?
I'm obsessed with it there.
What's the restaurant?
It's called Cafe Luna in Old Bridge, New Jersey.
Oh, nice. What type of food?
Italian.
Oh, yeah. What else would there
hello?
be? That was a stupid question.
Hello?
Yeah, that's the only reason I go back.
The Italian, the drinks, the food. It's fantastic.
Chinese food, Italian food.
Chinese food.
Bagels.
Don't even get me started.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I do when I go back to the city is get a bagel.
Yeah.
Have to.
Have to. It's required.
So required.
Or they kick you out.
Pizza, bagels, even the vegan stuff that's like the same stuff like that. Even the vegan Italian food, the vegan pizza is so good.
Yeah.
In Jersey compared to the Italian food here.
Right.
Yeah. I have my spots here though.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me what spots because I still have not. I've yet to find Italian
Vitello's
places.
in Studio City.
That's where we go.
Okay.
That's it.
Where
We go to
that's where we
Vitello's
go.
in Studio
That's
City.
where we go. Yeah. They know me by name there. They're like, oh, Sari, we saw your reservation. I was like, oh my God, stop. That's so embarrassing. I'll get a Cosmo and a chicken part.
You know my order.
Yeah, they know. They know. Yeah, I love it there.
So you're a Jersey girl.
Oh, born and raised.
Born and raised. And we actually met at SVA.
School. Yes, the School of Visual Arts.
But I had heard tell of you before that.
Oh, yes.
Because I had met your lovely mother.
My mom.
Like
my BFF.
A week or two before I started college.
As a freshman.
I went and I waited in line for tickets at Saturday Night Live. I'm talking to my buddy about how I just started at SVA. And there's a woman standing in front of me and she turns around and says, you know, Mom, my daughter Sari goes to SVA. Look, this is her work. She like had your reel like ready to go.
I forgot about that. Oh, Mom, please.
It was so sweet. And I was like, this is exactly what my mom would be doing. So this is great. And yeah, she pulled it up and I was like, I'm going to look her up. And I was, and your work was awesome. So I was just like, this is so cool. I already know somebody,
oh,
you know,
sweet. Yeah.
First day of class.
I was about to be a senior.
Right.
That's right. It was the summer before.
And you made your film Brother.
Yes.
I rewatched your short.
Wow.
I rewatched it. And you know what? It was
13 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it's really good, Sarah.
Thanks, Nick. Oh, that's so sweet.
It was.
I was proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. It was really inspirational, especially as freshmen coming in and seeing that as the senior film and going like, wow, there's like, she's storytelling. She's doing like this beautiful job,
that's
like
so sweet.
Telling a story and these visuals that we haven't seen before and like doing new things. And it was definitely like wow, that's a standard to try to reach for.
You're sweet.
You know?
Ah! And then you guys came along and that was crazy. But no, I appreciate it.
Well, it was inspiration from all the people that had come before us.
Absolutely. You guys did the supergroup.
Right.
And won the Student Academy Award.
Yes. Yeah. It was a crazy experience.
Who's the interviewer now? Just kidding.
It's been flipped. It's been flipped. We made our film in 2015, I think it was. And we got into a few festivals. But a lot of the festivals we got into were ones that Brother had gotten into previously.
Yeah, there's a funny story about that. I was so dead set on getting a Student Academy Award. I was like, I'm going to be the first one to do it.
Oh, wow.
In the department. And at that time you had to mail in a DVD of your film. I remember doing it. I was like, I'm going to do this thing. And I didn't get in the first round. And I was like, okay, of course this is part of it. I got rejected from a bunch of internships prior. Like, oops, it wasn't a big deal, you know, but I was gutted. And my mom, who of course is very, you know, we're very close. She saw how like upset I was. And then some folks who I had interned with the year before got into a bunch of film festivals through their various schools, Ringling, SCAD. And she did a bunch of research and saw that they posted about their film festivals they got into on a blog. And my mom's like, why don't we just apply to these? We can try. Let's just do it.
Yeah, there you go.
And so we applied to a bunch of film festivals, got into about 30 film festivals, 30 to 35.
Wow.
Including, and then SVA submitted for the College Television Awards or the Student Emmys.
Student Emmy Awards.
And ended up placing like bronze in that, but the ceremony, you know, that was awesome. And I just had a blast that whole year.
Yeah.
Won an award in the American Pavilion section of Cannes.
Yeah.
And
casually, you went to France to the Cannes Film Festival.
Casually.
Yeah.
And then
And you actually won at the American Pavilion.
At the American Pavilion.
That's amazing.
I won. Yeah, which was
That's
really
so
cool. And it was
cool.
cool for me because I was a kid and I was learning about this world.
Yeah.
And my path didn't end up like I didn't end up being like the person in charge of storytelling or directing, but what an experience that, you know, of course, if I ever get the opportunity to like make a short again, like that would be amazing. But it was because my mom took that initiative of submitting to all these festivals with me that SVA decided to do that on their behalf the year after. So the year after, they took this list of film festivals we submitted to on our own and they absorbed it into their program, which is really cool. So I like to thank my mom for the start of that.
I need to thank your mom the next time I see her.
You should thank my mom. So we had to do all of that by ourselves, and that wasn't like a thing.
Right.
Yeah, that was awesome. Really good time.
Wow. We ended up having somebody who did that later, like you said. Laura was her name. And
Laura.
She was awesome.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
great.
submitted all the films. And we didn't even, you're going to hate that I say this.
Okay,
I didn't know that the Student Academy Awards existed.
Well, there you go.
Which was wonderful because I don't think all we had on our minds was your film and all the other films of like, those are what to shoot for. And also, what do we like?
Yeah.
What film do we want to make? What do we want to say with it?
Nick, it was so good. Your student film.
Thank you.
It's still at the very top of the best films SVA's program has put out.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
That and Brother and many others. There's a lot of cool work came out of SVA. So
yeah, for sure. A lot of good work has come out of there. And we have a mutual friend there. Jerome.
Oh, yes.
Who did the music.
Right. So Jerome Leroy did the music for your film, Brother.
Yes.
And we had an amazing experience with him.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's
so
absolutely
great.
the best. So talented.
Yes.
Like ridiculously talented.
Ridiculously talented. He wrote the perfect, because animation to me, I always say that it's like we made half of the film and then he made the other half of the film.
Oh my God. Yeah. The sound is so important.
Music and sound and the storytelling of the music is so important for a film that's fully pantomime.
100%.
Because we don't have words.
Yeah.
We
no
don't,
dialogue.
So all you have is the music.
Mm-hmm.
So it was so important to have him be a part of it. And it really, I think it made all the difference. So.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Jerome.
Thanks, Jerome.
If you see this ever.
Thanks, Jerome. You'll see this.
He will see this one.
He'll
probably see this one. So after your film went and did did the festival run and everything.
Did the festival run. So much fun.
You then went on to, was the Pixar internship after that? It was before that run.
Yes.
Okay. So that was like your junior year.
That was my junior year.
So how did that work? You had done your student work and then you made a reel and just applied. Yeah.
Yeah. So I switched my major from illustration to animation. I had my first narrative workshop class and I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Not even touching the computer part of it yet.
Yeah, that was cool. Narrative workshop was like, it was
learning
like our
storytelling.
Intro to, storyboarding was kind of what the class was, but it was, exactly.
Yeah.
Storytelling.
Right.
In general.
And then 3D for me, we started in Maya. We were taught just animation, like bouncing ball. And I was like, oh, I'm bad at this. Oh, I'm bad at this. Okay, I'll do other things. I'll do other stuff. Not knowing that like there was a whole world of 3D.
Yeah.
I thought that was 3D at the time.
Right.
You know, I'm 18. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Bouncing ball, not for me. I'm not good at this. And like there's so many controls in Maya. There's so many. There's so many controls. You'll never know anything.
So many.
Everything in that package. And to think now it's like the back of your hand, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Or just a section of it, even now. Even working professionally. I feel like I really only know a section of what Maya has to offer.
But then sometimes I surprise myself and I'm like, oh, I'll just press this because a tab went away. And I'm like, how did I know that?
Right.
How did I know that?
Yeah. It's like you're like a sleeper cell and you're like, what? Did I live a different life that it's just coming back to me now?
No idea how. There's some things in there. It's almost like your brain's on autopilot when you're working in a program like that because there's so many options.
Yeah. So how'd you find your way to what you do now? Which
great question.
Look Dev.
Look Dev. We love Look Dev.
And what is Look Dev? What is
Look
like the description of it?
Can be sort of described by the texturing and materials of three-dimensional objects within the computer.
Yeah.
So if you think about 3D modeling, or if you played a video game or, you know, whatever, you'd see like 3D models in a space. Essentially, that all comes in just gray. So it doesn't have any material properties or textures, and someone like a look development artist or a texture artist comes in and they develop a series of images, or you can paint right on the 3D object to make something have material properties of whatever you want.
Yeah.
So we work with these things called shaders. And they're little like balls inside the computer. And they have a bunch of presets of like reflection and, you know, bump details and color. And we layer all that information to come up with what you see on screen.
Wow. And
it's a really strange little part of the pipeline, but it's the best part. Objectively, it's the best part because it's the most fun.
It is really cool because it's kind of like you're doing 3D animation aspects, right? But you're doing
no animating.
You're not animating.
Yeah.
It's a 3D animation, like the blanket term animation.
Yes.
You're working in 3D animation.
Yes.
But you're painting kind of traditionally in a way, right?
Yeah. It's layers of stuff. It's almost like, okay, if I broke down a table, let's say.
Yeah.
It's made of wood. It has scratches. It has a specific color. Each plank maybe is a different color. There's chipping, and each part of that is a layer that you add into your material.
Yeah.
So you'd go ahead and, you know, develop the wood, and there's different programs to like develop just plain textural without any reflections wood, or you can paint it depending on how you want it to look. And the same thing goes with all the chipping and the like scratches, and same thing goes with the reflection parts of it. Like how reflective is it? Is there paint that kind of wears down? Is it, you know, how rough is the reflection? Is it like soft? Is it like a lacquer sort of wood? There's all these things that we do when we pick apart a material.
Yeah.
And that goes for any surface, really, skin and
it just must
objects.
Be a ton of research too, of just
ton.
looking at photos, looking in real life, being like, that's how my skin reacts under the light, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of interaction with light, deciding, you know, there's lots of different properties that go into it. I know I'm explaining it in a very straightforward way, but there's so many different things that can go into a material. And honestly, the best materials, the most fun, are stuff like the goriest things for me.
Oh, really?
The most organic things are the most fun for me. When I used to do creatures and visual effects before coming to Disney, that was like the most fun.
I saw. So now you're at Disney now,
yes.
But you worked on a Purge film, I saw.
I worked on a Purge film, but only on a house.
Okay.
So no worries on that.
No worries.
Yeah,
okay.
No like gore there. I did do some American Horror Story stuff.
Oh, fun.
Like, yeah, someone had blood all over their shirt, and I was like, oh, I need to do a bloody shirt. And so that.
Wow.
And it needed to be like wet.
So they had you texture the bloody shirt because maybe they were swapping in an animated character?
It was just a guy. It was a man
Yeah.
that just was like faking being stabbed.
Yeah.
And there was no blood coming out. So they're like, oh, we need to add blood. And I was like, say less. Say less.
So for something like that, they like modeled a match for him, right?
Yeah. They modeled just like a shirt.
Yeah.
That and his like body,
right?
And then tracked it with the camera.
They tracked it so it
and
matches
I was like,
his. Yeah,
let's go.
And then you just added the blood on him.
Added the blood.
Crazy.
Yep, projected like him onto this body as just like the color. I
Yeah.
took the image and I was like, "Boop," and then did the blood pass, which was so much
Wow.
fun.
That must have been so much fun.
It was so much stuff like that's so much fun.
Yeah.
I worked on Deadpool titles,
Oh.
and like there was a tunnel of intestine.
Yeah.
No joke. I textured it like a tunnel of intestine, but it was a bullet wound, and the camera goes through the bullet
I
wound.
remember that. Yeah.
I just did the texture. Someone else did the shader development. So I just painted all the masks
Yeah.
or the maps, sorry.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, let me paint the interior wall of like someone's body.
Right.
and
The
then
little
I'll do
bumps and the, you know, scratches.
Loved it.
Wow.
That's so much fun.
Veins, was that maybe part of that one? I don't know. Maybe not.
Now that I look back, I don't think that one had veins, but
Okay.
I did do like a umbilical cord that had a bunch of veins.
Oh, wow. So organic ones are more fun.
Yeah. Organic textures were more fun for me.
Yeah.
Like the gory stuff, the more organic stuff. Now it's kind of everything. Yeah, I kind of like everything.
Just something new to try a different
Something
thing.
new. I love the challenge of
Yeah.
like, hey, we need all these surfaces in one big set to feel like wet, like puddles everywhere. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let me try to figure something out there.
Yeah.
Because that's all different for different properties.
So how did you get into it initially? What was like the first time that you saw something that made you go, oh, that's a job?
I think it was after I started school in animation, because I was not going to be good at animation. And
we don't know.
Oh, we know. Girl, we know. My walks up. No, I was not an animator. I was not a person that's going to do the action.
Everybody has their own.
Everyone has their own
set.
thing, and that's fair. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be in animation. I don't like it. I really loved making things look really cool, pretty on screen. I remember doing that, but I still thought at the time that that wasn't my strength. Even though I really loved it, I was like, well, I'm not good enough at that. So let me try lighting. Let me try, which is, placing lights in the virtual world. And yeah, I was developing characters for my short film, which I was really into steampunk at the time. So I was developing characters. And finally it clicked. Something clicked for me. And I was like, oh, I understand that there's more stuff.
Yeah.
I did an internship my sophomore year. I was bad at that. Like, I was not good. But I got the internship. I was strong at motion graphics a little bit, and I loved that, and I excelled. Shout out to Eric Reinfeldt. I see you.
I love Eric.
I love that Eric Reinfeldt. I loved that class.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
We're just gonna keep talking.
I know,
to the camera.
right?
But Eric. Just quick side note. I feel like he taught me how to work in the industry as an artist.
Yes.
Like he trained my eye on how to see when things were off, or like it was like an editing class, so it was just like catching black frames and things like that, and just knowing when how to edit, which I think is just like a part
like
of
cutting stuff to music, even
exactly
like hitting stuff on a beat, or even catching a blank frame or something.
And then he taught us like work ethic, I felt like, because
100%.
he was kind of a hard ass, but he was in a
good
good way.
Cry a couple times. I'm okay with that. I stayed up all night doing an assignment for him, and he tore it to shreds. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And I cried, and I was like, well, this is how it is. And sometimes it's going to be like that.
And sometimes it is like that.
And sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
And you can't take that personally.
Yes.
Because,
right.
It is what it is.
It's about getting the thing finished and not about your
personal
emotions,
right? Not about your personal, even though you're an artist.
Yes.
And there's a lot of personal stakes that go into that. It's not so concrete. There's a lot of subjectivity in being an artist.
Totally.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's so easy to be hurt by criticism.
Yes.
In your artwork. But if you're doing it as a job, that part you have to learn to like put away a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's still days where I'm like,
oh yeah, so
crushed, but not, on the job.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back.
Yes.
So I was putting together my reel for my short, and it something clicked. I was like, oh, I understand 3D modeling. I understand that part of the pipeline. Edge loops, make a structure hold together, having proper geometry, make structures there. And if I add a cool shader, it looks great. So I was very bare bones. But I was making cool stuff because I was oh, I get 3D modeling now. I'm going to do 3D modeling.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then got into Pixar. Andrew Dayton visited the school, and he was at Pixar for a long time.
Yes.
And he said, let me know when you apply. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I did, and then yeah, my reel like got through, and then was headed for Pixar like 2 years after starting,
Wow.
after learning Photoshop for the first time, which was awesome. Horribly scary.
It must have been terrifying.
And then there at Pixar, I thought I wanted to be a rigger.
Because when you went to Pixar, they basically said, here's all the things that you can do. You went as an intern.
Learned every step of the pipeline. After a couple panic attacks, I like...
Right. Also, just walking into that place, it's got that massive atrium, and it's huge. It's the history of everything since Toy Story that you're walking into.
And you're like, oh, this is like one of the best places for this job on the planet. It was really intimidating. I was like away from the East Coast for the first time, so I kind of had like a very severe panic moment. Yeah. And met some great people there who helped me not only there but in learning everything as well, and it really like was such an eye-opening experience, the whole thing. Yeah. Their rigging system, like setting up the bone structure and characters, was so, I don't want to say easy, but straightforward to me. I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. Wow. And then rigging in real life is not
straightforward.
No. Yeah. It is so technical, and I'm not technical. And then when I was doing my thesis film, it was like almost a full circle moment. I was like, oh, textures and materials are my favorite, but I don't have enough of that on my reel because I thought I wanted to do 3D modeling and then rigging at some point. Yeah. So I only have a modeling reel. So somehow when I enter into the job world, I have to tell everybody that, yes, my reel is a modeling reel, but I want to be a texture artist.
Wow. It's so interesting that you were like searching throughout your whole time, like even once you got to Pixar, all that stuff coming back, and then you were like, okay, and that the modeling kind of led to the texturing. Yeah, of like it was like, you learned how to bake really well. You're like, I'm gonna make this cake, but the cake doesn't look so good, right? Unless I put icing on the cake, and then you're like, I really enjoy putting icing on the cake.
It's the best part.
The best part is the icing.
It really is.
So, yeah.
Shout out to look development everywhere, because honestly, it is the best part of the pipeline. It's just so fun. Yeah. Seeing something that's like nothing and then taking it to something that looks like you could touch it and hold it. Yeah. Or like smell it or take a bite out of it. Yeah. That's kind of magical. It is magical. And when you have whole sets that like characters are in, it's just the best part, seeing it come to life like that.
So now you are a look development supervisor at Disney Animation.
Yes. Come a long way.
What a journey.
What a journey. Yeah. It worked at so many places. I've been at Disney for 4 years now.
Yeah. And this is your first gig as a supervisor.
First gig as a supervisor.
Right. On Zootopia 2.
On Zootopia 2.
And I mean, obviously, we're not going to talk anything about Zootopia 2 other than how has it been being a supervisor and working with a team?
So this is my first project that I'm not actually doing the actual artwork. Right. It's more of the management side of like clocking things that you see and delegating a lot and working with a team in that way. And rather than have like a part of a sequence and have ownership of a set, it's the whole thing, but you're not actually doing the work, you're just overseeing all of it. Yeah. And for me, that's like, in the beginning it was a little tough. Like I wanted to be doing it. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I want to do this. I want to do this. There's so many cool worlds in Zootopia as a whole.
Yes, so, there is.
Like, what made me a look development artist was at the end of the day, you're looking at something and you're pushing, you keep iterating and you keep making things better. You keep adding detail. Yep. You keep making the world more believable and real. And then eventually it gets approved and like, you're like, it did the thing. It looks great. This time, it's sort of like I get that feeling, but it's like I'm almost a coach and like rooting for the person. And I'm like, it just has to go a little bit this way. Yeah, just has to go a little bit this way. And then it's there. And then I think we can do it. Right. And so it's like seeing everyone have that is really cool. It just has been such a blessing. Honestly, I'm like, though the days are extremely busy, there's obviously back-to-back meetings, and most of the time it's a lot of just talking and listening, and not much actually doing the thing that I studied. But it's something is so fulfilling about it. I can't put my finger on it yet because it's still very new. Yeah. But it just feels like the natural next step, I think.
I'm so happy
And I
for
really
you.
like it.
That's
Thank you.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, it's super fun. I mean, you can ask my partner. Some days I'm like, but some days I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm 5 foot, small person, same girl panicking through the halls of School of Visual Arts. And then some days I'm like, no, this is okay. I got it. And
Yeah.
then the people, of course, the leadership above me are just so seasoned and amazing.
Yeah.
It feels like very supported. I feel very supported. I'm not like floundering.
Yeah.
I feel in the role. Who knows?
That's the best.
I'll wait for my review at the end of the thing, but
I'm sure you're doing an amazing job.
we'll see. We'll see, Nick. My jersey comes out sometimes.
That's okay.
It's okay.
We like a little jersey now and then.
A little bit.
It adds a little spice, you know?
Yeah.
You were at Leica at one point?
I was
too?
at Leica. I did an internship right after my senior year ended at Leica House.
Okay.
During the wrapping of Paranorman. So it was like right when Paranorman wrapped. Yeah. And Leica House was the commercial studio
section of
still attached to the Leica Entertainment portion.
Right.
So I worked there for a period as an intern and then freelanced a bit for them in the years after.
Oh, cool.
And a good friend of mine, Jeff Gibson, who has gone on to do some amazing things.
Yes, he has.
We interned together at Pixar, and then we interned together the year after at Leica.
That's so crazy, right?
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we were at Disney together for a brief period before he moved on.
He was just on this recently.
Yes,
he
so
was
I've
just
heard.
here the other day.
I know, sweet Jeff Gibson.
Missed him by a few days, but yeah, too funny.
He actually, funny story, when we got to Pixar, I was like freaking out because I'm an anxious girl from Jersey. And
wait, you are?
I know, crazy. You would never assume that could be me. So I was on my freaking out. And then I randomly went up to Jeff and was like, hi, you're one of the interns in the program. He's like, yes. And I'm like, can you take me to the hospital? No joke. Oh. And he was like, okay. Yeah, and that's how we became friends. Because I panicked so bad.
So first, maybe let's go back to that.
Sure.
What happened? You went.
I had a really bad panic attack.
Oh,
I thought I was like, it was the worst one I've ever had, and I really thought something was wrong. And I was like,
no,
I don't care what it is. This needs to stop. I can't do my internship in this state. So on like the Friday after the first week, I was like, hi, yeah, can you just bring me like help me? And he was like, yeah, and he was so sweet.
Aw, he's a good guy.
He's such a good guy. And I was like, you can just leave me here. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'll check in with you later.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
You're like, it's okay. It's just a regular panic attack at Pixar.
They need to give me something. I don't know. Never had medicine or anything. So they like gave me a Xanax. I was good. So worked out.
Well, I'm glad that it all worked out.
Thank you. Afterwards. Yeah. And the rest of the internship was great.
Good.
But
no more panic attacks after that?
Well, not so much at that time.
Okay, good.
You know, I interned with at Pixar in 2011. Actually, one of the story interns at the time. Mm-hmm. I was a undergraduate intern, so like more generalist stuff.
Yeah.
And then one of the story interns at the time was Domi. She.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
That's so crazy.
And she's skyrocketed in her career, and rightfully so. She's ridiculously talented.
Yeah.
She won't remember me, but I remember her from like the little bus that was the free bus you can take to Pixar around the little town Emeryville near San Francisco. And she was just so sweet.
Yeah, now she's directed Turning Red.
Yeah.
And she directed Elio.
Co-directed Elio. Yeah. And Bao, of course, was her claim to
Bao.
fame. Yeah.
Oh, I love Bao.
Bao was
such a great short.
So amazing. Very, very smart. Very, very talented.
You ended up working in visual effects for a while.
I worked in visual effects for a long time.
Yeah.
Not a long time.
Yeah, but a big portion of your career was that.
Yeah, I didn't go to do animation, which the difference is visual effects is photorealistic.
Right.
And then animation's more like stylized and cartoony. Didn't do animation until I got to Disney. That was my first animation job.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's funny because you like started at Pixar and Leica, which were animation studios.
Yeah.
And then went off. But it sounds like you've had like gory influences throughout,
Yeah,
right?
that was always my favorite. When I worked in New York City for about 7 years.
Yeah.
Freelanced the first 2 years out of school. I was like, "Oh, I'm set. My resume's good. I worked hard. I did this thing. I'll get a job right out of school." Girl, it's not that easy.
No.
It's not easy at all. I hustled to get work. I was like trying to get gigs every chance I got. You know, you're working in commercials. The New York City industry is highly advertising. It's like all advertising.
Yeah, and super competitive.
Super competitive.
Yeah.
Sometimes TV, sometimes movies. It was a lot of like commercial work.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always, you know, as a junior artist, you're trying to break in, you're trying to get to know people. And so I'm just like reaching out to alumni from SVM, reaching out to everybody and everything and being like, "Hey, here's my reel. I'm available, blah, blah, blah."
And meanwhile, if you've come out with, you now have a film that just was at the Cannes Film Festival, you won an award at the Cannes Film Festival.
But that literally means nothing.
Student Emmy Award. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show your skill set as like an artist trying to do one piece
Right.
of a...
Yeah, they're not hiring you as a director. They're hiring
Correct.
you as the artist to do this job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was tough. Like freelancing around, not knowing when, and of course it's the plight of everyone who kind of comes into, most people who come into visual effects and animation.
Yeah.
You're trying to freelance, you're getting your name out there. And of course, once people get to know you and it goes well, they'll bring you back for more jobs. And then I landed my first staff position 2 years after graduating.
Oh, wow.
At Method Studios in New York.
Oh, cool.
Which has since closed.
It just did recently.
Just did.
So sad.
Which is sad. I spent 5 years there.
Yeah.
Which was an amazing journey. I grew a lot.
It's a long time.
It was
5 years. Yeah.
It was a long time as a junior artist. Yeah. Who like, and then I got better as I worked there. In New York, I was always looking for like the cool stuff, and I got to do so many fun things in New York. Like there was an Eagle commercial, so I got to do the like Eagle textures, and there was some gore stuff, some American Horror Story things, and there was some creature stuff in there, and that was really fun. I learned a ton, and that was great.
Was there any specific ones that are like some of your favorites that you got to do?
Yeah, absolutely. The Deadpool title sequence was so much fun.
Yeah.
There was another spot, an alligator commercial. For GE where it was like a full alligator, and I had never done like a full creature like that.
What was that like? Were you like just
nervous?
Watching a lot of, you were looking at a lot of alligator reference?
Yeah, and the way I ended up texturing this thing is not how I would do it now.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like I was actually going in and like hand painting a lot of the scales.
Right.
And I would never do that these days.
Oh.
I would never even think about doing it that way.
Because now you've found more procedural ways to do it, where there's like things that you can
generate groups of like with other programs, you can generate groups of like shapes that look like scales. And then I would manipulate that and use that as a base versus going in and hand painting.
Right. And then you'd paint on top of that.
Yeah.
I
don't know why I hand painted all the scales like an idiot.
I feel like when you're starting out, you're learning, obviously.
And this was 4 years out. Like I was still a junior. I think I considered myself mid-level. No, I was a junior artist still 4 years from graduating.
A lot of us were, because you're learning so much, and you go from college right into jump here, out of the tree, out of the nest, 100%. Fly into the industry. Yeah. And now you have to match these people who've been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years.
Yep.
And you're supposed to be matching what they're doing, you know? And it's
not easy.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's
like it's hard because, you know, like you said, like you're like, I wouldn't do things that way now.
No.
But you know, when you're starting out, you're just like, I'm just going to go straight ahead. I'll try this. And a lot of times it's the more manual way of doing things. At least that's how it was for me. Yep. Like we did a short film in like our sophomore year, and we had all these bricks, and I animated every brick.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. It was like 300 individual
Nick
rectangles.
Stop.
We animated all of them.
Why?
Because we didn't know any other ways to do it.
That's true. When you don't know any other ways to do it, you get the thing done with what you know.
Exactly, which is I know how to move that from here to there. I can put keyframes, and it worked. I just need to do that 300 more times.
Oh my god.
And so, you know, you're not efficient, but you're learning. And it's probably similar to what you were doing with the texturing.
100%. I was absolutely learning. I remember sitting there. It was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. at the studio, and I was like, I'm doing so good. I'm doing so good.
I'm killing it.
Also, my brother had just passed away around that time. It was a hard
I'm
project.
sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll always remember that project.
Yeah.
It was this like thing.
Yeah.
And that I was like, no, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do that alligator.
Right.
I'm gonna do right by it.
You just channeled everything into the alligator.
Sure.
Yeah.
When I thought of like the pinnacle of visual effects, I was thinking of, or visual effects and animation, you know, you think of Pixar, you think of Disney, you think of ILM doing like the best visual effects you've ever seen.
Yeah,
or
for
Weta.
Star Wars.
Oh, sure.
Or
Anything.
Weta, yeah.
And then there was Blizzard cinematics. You could always count on a Blizzard cinematic being absolutely phenomenal.
True.
Blizzard cinematics are so ahead of the game. Someone reached out to me and they're like, hey, we got 6 months. It's for Blizzard cinematics. And I was like, okay.
Oh, cool.
I was like, okay. And of course I entered into panic mode. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this for 6 months. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to New York and it'll be great. And I gave my dad my turtle and the indoor pond set up. And I'm like, okay, I freaked out. You know, I'm having my panic attack for about a month before the contract starts. I get to Orange County in California, ready to start at Blizzard Entertainment, you know, 7 years into my career, 2019. I love this place. It's the opposite of like what I experienced the first day at Pixar, which was just pure panic.
Yeah.
And it was mostly because I was away from home. And this was different. This was like, okay, I'm leaving everything, but I'll come back. I'll come back. And then I'm like, oh no, this is home. Like first day. And even though it was Orange County and so like still California, I'm like, oh, this area is home forever.
Yeah. And
Blizzard was one of the best experiences I've ever had as an artist. I got to work on the Diablo 4 announcement cinematic. While there was gore around, I didn't get to do the gory stuff. I got to do a little bit.
What did you get to do on it?
The Diablo 4 announcement cinematic, I did the entrance temple. So like the first scene when they enter this big temple, I did all of that stuff and close-up things there. And then some hero stuff in like the second act of it. So
that's a cool
and
cinematic.
When I got there, I was like, oh, their tools are going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Pure brute force artistry. There's nothing, no bells and whistles there. Every studio comes with proprietary stuff that make artists' lives easier. And this place, yes, they had tools that made artists' lives easier, but nothing that made the artistry itself easier. It was pure artistry. In the surfacing, it was called the surfacing. Look development's always called something else everywhere you go. Yeah. It's either look development, surfacing, or texture painting. Right. Whatever. It's all wrapped up in the same thing. Some of the best surfacing artists, no cutting corners, like just pure artists. Just painting. They're just painting all those just like you did with the first alligator. They're like, I'm just going to paint this thing brute force. Sometimes they do that, and then they do, it's just like in the program, you have options to sort of like generate textures and do it that way. But then there's another part where you go in and you can like take different skin pieces and, project them on different parts of the face. So it's a lot of that, but also that's very time consuming and a lot of just like painting in a program. And it was very much like that. Some of those artists are just some of the best I've ever seen to this day. They're just fantastic. And when I knew my Blizzard contract was only 6 months. I knew it was. So I was like, okay, if I want to stay in California, I got to find another job. I was able to reach out to an old contact and they're like, hey, we're looking for a look dev artist to come in and do Orville season 3, redo all the spaceships. Fun. So fun. So much fun. I was like, hell yeah. And she's like, it's staff. And I'm like, I'll take it. I'll go. And she's like, and it's in LA. I'm like, great, I'll move. So I ended up jumping ship. My first day there, my old boss from Blizzard was like, hey, we have another contract. I was like, no, I can't. I'm so bummed. I would love to go back. But I recommended a good friend of mine, Derek. Oh, Forkel. Forkel. Yes. Forkel. He's amazing. Yeah. And he ended up going to Blizzard and staying there for like 3 years. Yeah. Such a great spot. So then you were at the Orville. You went and worked on the Orville. Yeah, I was doing Orville. And then pandemic hit 6 months later. Oh, wow. When the pandemic hit, I was at that studio for about 6 months. And then as soon as I heard like, oh, they're closing for 2 weeks and everyone needs to work from home and we're figuring that out and like remote logging in, I was like, I'm going to Jersey because I'm scared. Of course. Ended up being in Jersey on and off for like 8 months and then saw an opening at Disney. Yeah. And I was like, should I try for this? Because of course, Pixar, Disney, all those things, when when you're at a place and you feel like you're doing the same things over and over again, and you're looking to move, it's just not the right time, you're comfortable, you just apply.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, especially a big studio, you get the typical, hey, sorry, we're going in a different direction,
Right.
or
We've
nothing
moved forward with another candidate.
Sure. And was no stranger to that. And I was like, okay, let me try something different though. I blind reached out to a guy who was in my LinkedIn network, and I was like, hey, my name's Sari. I'm at this place. I wrapped at this place a little bit ago, whatever. Or, I had done Blizzard, da-da-da.
Yeah.
Here's my reel. And he's the sweetest man on planet Earth. And he's like, oh, I'll pass this along. And he actually did. And I was hired in a week. After applying to Disney for years during my career. Just
Wow.
randomly. Just seeing what would
Who
happen.
was the person?
Lance Summers. Shout out Lance Summers.
Wow.
One of the sweetest people, one of the most talented people I've ever met.
Amazing.
Just fantastic. Just an all-around amazing person. He kind of put me on his first project, and I was contracted at Disney, and then got hired on full-time in October 2022.
Wow. What was the first film that you worked on there?
Strange World.
Yeah. Oh,
And
nice.
it was really fun. And then I got to be the first look dev artist on Wish.
On Wish, yeah.
Yeah.
I was working there with you
Yes.
during Strange World. And then I remember coming down to visit you at some point at your office, and you were like, yeah, I just started on the new film, on Wish.
Yeah.
And just looking at like the cool like watercolor
Yeah, we were trying to
painterly
figure that
style.
out.
Yeah.
Another industry so small. And during the Pixar internship, Angela McBride, the lighter, well, she's a lighter at Disney now. She was really into lighting then too.
Mhm.
She was also one of my roommates in the apartment they gave us at Pixar.
Oh,
which was
that's
very
cool.
She was one of the lighting supervisors on Wish, and she was a huge part of discovering the look of Wish
Yeah.
for how that ended up looking.
Right.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So you work a lot with the lighting department.
Yeah,
That's
have
kind
to,
of to get the final look of the film.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So it'll go out of our hands into lighting, and lighting
Yeah.
will let us know what they think with the light setup. This might need to change this way. This might need to change this way. We'll look at it in a theater together. A lot of stuff goes back and forth.
Because it's like once they start putting in lights, they add colors, they whatever. It'll be like, oh, that texture maybe doesn't feel like it works.
So
on
it's
the
a
prop
lot of
or
back
on-
and forth.
Yeah.
A lot of back and forth, and a lot of iteration. Just constant.
And are you guys doing? You're doing environments? Or do
Yeah,
you-
I'm mostly at
Yeah.
Disney in our department, look development. A lot of people switch back and forth between characters and environments.
Okay.
Every studio is different.
Mm.
This is the first time I've actually been so separate with
Oh.
characters and environments.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, we kind of just did everything. And I'm fine with that. I actually really love environments.
Mm-hmm.
Because characters at Disney's heavily hair groom.
Right.
And hair groom, like doing hair, is separate basically every other studio. I hate hair groom.
It's hard. It's a hard.
I
Yeah.
never want to do it.
And then they work with the character TDs who
Can't.
are doing the hair,
Yep.
and so they're working close with them, and probably also with lighting
Yes.
because of the characters.
Oh, characters
Yeah.
is so scrutinized, and it's
Yeah.
not just it's the costume. It's not even just the skin. I'm a fan of surfacing. I love materials.
Yeah.
And I think at Disney a lot of characters are heavily art directed in the clothing and the hair. It's one of those things when in my interview they're like, "Oh, do you know hair groom? Do you know X-Gen?" Which X-Gen is instancing of little, and this is for environments, which I
Yeah.
did have to learn.
Right.
Little you
Because a lot of grass and
grasses,
things like that are X-Gen.
you scatter
Yeah.
leaves and pebbles and things, or little furs on curtains.
Yeah, it's ways to
or-
make a lot of things, but it's not heavy, so it doesn't bog
Yeah.
down the scenes. Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's not supposed to.
that's another thing. They're on my case a little bit right now because some of our scenes with the grasses and the mosses are so heavy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But I bet it looks gorgeous.
it looks so good. But I'm like, okay, I see you. I hear you. If a scene is taking a day to render, maybe I should back off
Right.
some of the because you can go crazy with placing plants and stuff everywhere
Yeah.
and adding grass and deciding the direction and whatever. I had
Yeah.
never done that elsewhere. It has purely been materials and the grasses and hair and anything that's like lots of little strands of stuff, like millions of them, have been done by other departments called grooming.
Right.
And at Disney, that's all in Look Dev.
That's what you guys do.
Yeah. At Disney, you have ownership of that whole set, including that part.
So what other departments are you working with like closely? It's like lighting and modeling. Those are kind of the two big ones.
Sometimes effects. We work really closely with effects depending on what it is. Where effects would do like snow simulations and we have ownership of the snow material. So it's like a lot of back and forth there. Oh, I had this beauty the other day where they needed something to spin like this and they didn't want to rig it.
Okay.
The effects department helped us out with like something, just like a square of a texture moving like this.
Yeah.
And I had to finagle something to like put it on to the ribbon that's supposed to be spinning. So it appears like it's spinning. And it's not actually spinning. It's an animated texture.
Wow.
And that's a whole thing.
Look at you animating. If only you as a student could see you now.
Right? And Disney has its own, I'm not a coder, camera. I don't know technical, like I'm not a technical person. I never was.
Me either.
That's not my strong suit.
Me either, yeah.
Disney has its own coding language, which is actually extremely straightforward for someone who's like, I'll paint this picture on this thing and it'll show up. If you want to come into Disney look development, it is a whole other world. It is so different than anything that's commercially available. The first time I got introduced to it, I was like, you're joking. This is a joke. There's no way that you guys do it this way. And I freaked out. Of course, I panicked my second day.
Do you feel like it's every time you go into a new place, it's like you have to relearn how to do the thing you do?
Not like that. Not to that level.
Okay, yeah.
Because every studio used a package called Mari, which is a painting package. For the kids wanting to get into look development, Substance Painter is a great package, but it is not enough.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hot take.
Hot take. Sorry.
No.
It is a great package. It is wonderful. But I see a lot of students on a lot of demo reels using it out of the box because it's very like, oh, here's a mask for all the edges. And that's great. And it's a great way to like learn.
Right.
But a program like Mari allows for more robust usage of texturing. I learned on Photoshop and then Mari. And Mari is a program where you kind of have to do a lot of stuff yourself to build up the material.
Gotcha. So it's like learning how the internal parts of a car instead of just buying the car and
sort
driving
of like
it.
That.
Yeah. So it's really been interesting to me because I'm a layout artist. I do camera work. I've done some basic texturing stuff, just like in our work, because sometimes we have to do some temp textures for like the first pass of something, just to like get an idea across to show directors and go, is this kind of,
we get a ton of notes like that.
Yeah.
From the layout department.
Right.
Of like, this needs textures.
Yes. Well, we need textures a lot because they want to see it, and it's like, they need to, in order to sell it, they need a texture. But a lot of times we'll just do a temp texture, right? But it's always kind of boggled my mind how you guys do what you do. And especially when I've seen like these bearskin rugs of characters where it's just, so it literally like takes apart all of the pieces of, so there's like these things called UVs, right?
Yes,
and
UVs.
it's like, it's what makes up all the mesh of a character.
Yeah.
And then they basically split it apart.
It's almost like you cut if you take a person, and if you take a person's face and you cut a seam down the back of their head.
Right.
And you split it, you take the skin off and you split it from the back and you lay it out flat. That's what a UV map is.
Right.
And texture artists typically use that to visualize flat if they want to see, like, generate a texture, an image that's flat, and it gets wrapped around the 3D model.
It's crazy. My brain doesn't even work that way. I can't even understand.
It's a weird concept.
How you guys can paint things and be like, right, that's going to be the
like
back
stretched out,
of the jawline or the,
We don't have to, though, because the programs like Mari and Substance Painter, now they do.
Now they've gotten around the bearskin.
Where you can, yes, you have to have the bearskin situation laid out flat like that at some point.
Right.
But you're able to visualize it and paint right on the 3D model.
So cool.
So cool.
That probably makes the world of difference.
It does. At Disney, however.
Oh.
Not like that.
Okay.
Yes, you can still paint in the 3D model space. Actually, you can only paint in the 3D model space. You don't get the bare skin situation.
Gotcha.
Disney uses technology called PTEX. We have our own proprietary tools to be able to use PTEX, which is just a set of data.
Right.
So you can still paint on like a 3D mesh and generate your textures and lay it
Mhm.
on there, but it's just done a little differently.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good to know. I mean, for anybody who's
Interested.
wants to be
Yeah, so
a
it is.
texture artist.
You do kind of going into that pipeline and not being able to see your UVs
Yeah.
like laid out flat like that, because it is helpful when you see something laid out flat, like
Yeah.
let's say a desk, and you want your wood grain to go in certain directions on the desk.
Yeah.
It's helpful to see it laid out flat, so you're seeing all the slats of the wood like this, so you can properly lay your wood grain. So you can go back and forth from looking at it in 3D space to looking at it flat, where
Right.
I'd see all my wood grain and everything goes the proper direction.
Yeah.
The texturing principles are the same,
Right.
regardless of how you're viewing your textures. Yeah.
Cool. So we were saying before, there were definitely influences in filmmaking that you said, like visual effects was big for you. Was there any animated films that were just your favorites when you were growing
100%.
up? Yeah.
Not even just growing up, just in general.
Yeah, or in life. Yeah.
I'm a basic girl. Spirited Away.
It's a great movie.
So fantastic.
Interesting that you like Avatar too. A lot of like nature, right?
Yes.
Miyazaki, a lot of nature, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Totoro would be more
I think,
along that
and now
line.
that I'm more in line with environments in terms of servicing, like I'm in the environment world more, just stunning environments all around, like Avatar. I mean, the environments are the thing.
Yeah,
that, like,
it makes sense, right? And Spirited Away, a lot of
Spirited Away,
environments.
huge. Like
Huge.
that scene where the like giant mud guy comes in and he gets his bath and everyone's like, ew. I love that scene so much. I'm obsessed with it. Nausicaa from Miyazaki, so good. It was an inspiration for Strange World.
Oh.
And it's a Miyazaki movie. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen Totoro.
Totoro's great.
Mononoke.
Of course.
Again, more. It's all about the environment.
The world.
It's about the world.
It adds so much.
Yeah.
I love Coraline.
Coraline's great. Well, and it's interesting then you ended up at Leica because you were like,
I love Coraline. They gave me a tour of like the old sets in the back of like a house at one point. And they had a bunch of old Coraline maquettes and the sets, like the Coraline's bedroom, one of them. So interesting. It is wild.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. The set is built on a full angle. Like that one was her bedroom to give false perspective of the size of it. It was actually quite small.
Wow.
But it's built on an angle for the camera to be able to see or to fake that it's bigger than it actually is.
Right. And you're getting to see everything up
really
like, close.
Me and Jeff.
You and Jeff, yeah.
We got to see that. And we like took pictures back there.
And I bet as a texture artist, or as a future texture artist, you probably were looking close at these like little props of like a bed.
They're doing that and for real. And
right.
Beautiful.
Some of my favorite stuff from Leica is like in the Box Trolls, there was this character that was called Archibald Snatcher.
Love that.
The villain character.
Okay.
And he had like a pink face, but they had like painted in blue all throughout his face. And I picked up on that and was like, that is so cool.
That is cool.
They like put this, it was like he had like veins and things, but it also just like made him less warm. He looked more cold-blooded.
That's really cool.
And kind of was like giving away who his character was, but it just was like a stylistic choice of the world.
Yeah.
But just the colors they chose to use on him.
That's awesome.
I thought was so cool.
Yeah. There's just so much good stuff out there. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio makes me cry every time.
That was a beautiful film too.
Oh my God. It is... you have everything in that movie. You have stop motion. You have Nazis. You have... songs. It's like a musical a little bit.
Yeah.
You have like the character goes from, I mean, it's the most beautiful character arc I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I love a sad ending. I hate happy endings because it's not realistic.
Right.
And I know that's morbid and sad, but like a super tied up in a neat bow happy ending isn't real life. And I like movies, animated or not, that point to something a little bit more true to life. Like, that's such a human experience.
Yeah.
That's such a so at the end of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, spoiler alert, the fact that Pinocchio gives up his mortality to save his family, and then has to continue living out the rest of his days because he's a boy, but seeing all the people who he loves so much get old and die, and then he has to move on. Just the innocence of seeing this character, this like happy, bouncy, annoying almost character, go through these arcs of like, just his innocence gets him in so much trouble as he tries to do certain things and have fun, and then he realizes that just life isn't perfect. It's not, it's messy, it's hurtful, it's, you know, people get hardened by things, and he keeps his like bounciness and his happiness, but he becomes this more realistic character at the end. And he leaves all his loved ones, you know, behind because he has to bury them, and it's like sad, but it's so sweet, and it's life.
It's the reality of life,
and
right?
I love it.
That's the reality of
becoming
and I watched
that, and
a real boy.
She was not happy.
Oh no.
She was like, I can't do this. She's like, don't make me watch that again. I'm like, it's so good.
It was a lot. It was a lot to watch. I remember after we watched it, I was like, oh, that was sad. But it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And I love that it ended that way. Even though it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I love that animation can be anything.
It can.
Like my favorite animated movies or like things are always short form, no dialogue. Really hard to watch short animated films. Like there's a stop motion movie on YouTube called Zero. Amazing.
It's the little
and
guy.
It's really sad.
It's like a little like sack boy.
Yeah, it's like a yarn.
From the, yeah.
Yeah, he's like made of yarn or something.
Yeah, I feel like shorts can be the most impactful sometimes too, because you only get that amount of time, and you watch that 5-minute short, that 7-minute short, whatever it is, and if they get to you in those 7 minutes, you're like, those 5 minutes, you're like, wow,
incredible.
That's pretty great storytelling right there.
There's a thing about animation too, and it's not necessarily just the storytelling, it's the artistry of it. You're not getting anything for free. You have to construct all of those things, whether it's hand-drawn or 3D. And I know 3D gets a bad rap sometimes for being 3D because it's computer generated, but it's no less like beautiful and touched by like that many people than 2D is. It's still very, very valid as a form like CGI animation. It's still very difficult and very time consuming and very carefully constructed by somebody. Just the tool is the computer instead of
from the ground up.
Built from the ground up. Yeah. Something really fun about Wish, and I was like really hoping I would get the environment, was Magnifico's evil lair, because it does harken back to old school Disney, and we're doing it in that style. And something really fun about the textures there was like we did have to add in little hints of watercolor in places, whether we were hand painting or generating those textures for the lair. And you know, that whole scene told the story itself, and no one's ever going to see it, but I spent weeks hand painting hundreds of spider webs in that set, and it was so much fun, like just getting to throw back to old school Disney. And if you like really look, I mean, some of those spider webs are so janky, I feel bad, but some of them were so like, just getting them just right was so much fun. It was really just like such a cool opportunity.
Did you get to look at a lot of like, were you looking at like Snow White and like a lot of films like that to just
very much so. We actually for Wish got to go to the animation research library, and they pulled out backgrounds from like Pinocchio and Sleeping Beauty, and that's when it hit me. I was like, oh, this is crazy that I'm in this world right now. And you can't touch anything, of course, and I had my mask on, and I was like, you know, because it was still like 2022. Just being able to see that, I got quite emotional. I'm like, oh my God, these are like the backgrounds from these movies that everyone grows up with.
Right. And artists painted these things. This is artwork that they've held on to in these temperature controlled vaults for all these years. From 1937.
Crazy.
They've had artwork in there.
Crazy. Some guy brings it out with like gloves, and I'm like, oh this is real. This is crazy. Yeah, it was.
That's the true Disney Vault. When they talk about the Disney Vault,
That's the Disney
it's
Vault.
the
And then
Animation
they talk
Research
about how
Library.
they like have tunnels underneath the studio lot of like how they'd carry these things underground during the hot days.
Right.
And I heard also they used old, so they were trying to figure out how to maintain the quality of the paintings
Yeah.
with the heat of California, and that they'd use old like giant ice cream vats that
Oh
they'd
my
like
gosh.
store stuff in, because that was the only thing they could like use to freeze stuff at the time.
Yeah.
And I heard this. I don't know if it's fully accurate, but that's the story that I heard. Yeah, just stunning. And some of the folks at Disney now who you talk to have worked on some of the 90s movies.
Yeah.
Like gone from 2D all the way to 3D, which is pretty just fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
So being able to do Wish was so fun.
And work with a lot of those people who worked on the films that inspired a film like Wish.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, lots of hand painting in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
which was so much fun.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really, really fun one.
The-
That's like one of the highlights, I think, for me, if I look back at some of the work
Mm-hmm.
that I've been able to be a part of. That's a big one, Wish.
The combination of the style of it as well as just the history of Disney kind of behind it all.
It was with that influence, just
Yeah.
being able, developing the style, trying to really do a nod to the movies that inspired it.
Yeah.
And that was really fun in terms of the style. Yeah.
Did you ever have a favorite Disney film?
Growing up,
Mm-hmm.
a huge fan of Peter Pan. Of course, grew up on like Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid. The songs, like the song, really, the I Want songs, which I
Yes.
recently was told they're called I Want songs. Like the I want to be where the people are, like
Yes.
like real
The I Want.
I Want songs.
It is the definitive moment usually in the heroine's journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's saying, "This is what I want for my life."
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie.
Absolutely.
So we all know and we're on board. Let's do it, Belle.
Yes.
Let's do it, Ariel.
Exactly.
We got this.
Like she has gadgets and gizmos. She has gadgets and gizmos aplenty.
Yeah. Who's its and what's its galore.
Thingamabobs. She's got
20.
She's got 20. No big deal.
Who cares?
I want more.
She wants more.
She wants more.
She wants to be where the people are.
Up where they walk, up where they talk.
Up where they walk, up where they run.
Yeah, so
up
good.
Where they stay all day in the sun. Did I ever tell you that my mom's roommate, when she was in a tour of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, was Jodie Benson?
No way. And I figured when you said, did I ever tell you about my mom? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Jodie Benson. So
Jodie
good.
Benson was my mom's roommate. They were, yeah.
That's amazing.
And then she became the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. She has the Little Mermaid. Amazing. So good.
So it was
more the songs for me than a specific film.
Are you a musical theater fan?
I'm a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with it because you were in Jersey? Across?
It didn't hit me till high school when we all got into like the Wicked
sure.
theme song. I like knew all the songs before I saw it for the first time.
So did you love the movie?
I loved the movie. Took my partner to see the show last year.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. As always.
I love Wicked.
So good.
So good. Talk about a good story.
For real. A fantastic story.
Very good.
What a fun story.
Yeah. And all of the songs. See, and that's the great thing about songs is that the songs, like we were saying with animation, it's like half of the storytelling. The storytelling, that is why animated musicals are so good. Yeah. Because it amplifies all of the things. And animation already is a medium that is amplifying real life.
100%.
It's exaggerating, and music exaggerates. Yeah. And I feel like the connection that we all feel when we listen to music is so strong that when you combine that with the visuals of animation, it's like
it's that magical moment.
It's the magical moment. Yeah. Yeah. And Wicked does that, even though it's a stage play, it's a musical. But the characters are heightened. Yeah. And the songs are heightened. And it makes your emotions heightened.
Oh, so good. Yeah, it's so good. That's probably why people cry when they hear like a really amazing belted song. Yes. Yeah, I get emotional.
Yeah, me too.
I get emotional at a lot of stuff.
I could get emotional
Watching
right
the last
now.
Zootopia screening, I got
Did you?
super emotional.
That's cool.
Yeah. Mostly because I'm working on it
Mm-hmm.
and we're almost at the finish line. And it's great.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching the end of this thing and I'm like, oh, damn, that's coming together.
We're
It's
making
really cool.
a movie.
We're making a movie. That's crazy. Yeah, Zootopia is like, what, my 4th feature at Disney? And I'm still just like blown away by the whole process.
Yeah. It is really shocking to go in there and see how the sausage gets made.
I think for me, the day-to-day, you know, I'm in the studio, like being in the studio, even working from home, all of it's like, okay, I'm at this place, I'm doing my job. The moments for me that it clicks, that it's like, oh, we're at a major like film studio,
Yeah.
is going into a theater room to see a review. Like reviewing, for us, it's environment finaling, where like it all comes together in terms of the look of the whole environment. And we're seeing it with the production designer, and you're sitting in a theater chair and you're watching it on screen, and you're like, oh, that's the moment. That's like, oh wow, I'm at Disney reviewing a Disney movie. Like, this is, everyone's gonna see this. And those are the moments to me that like click.
Yeah.
As something like, I can't believe I'm here. It's just those little moments, you know, of like the day to day.
Yeah.
Or being in the atrium, the 2nd floor of Disney, and like you get your coffee and you look over and there's like a statue of Moana or some artwork on the wall of people who just are legends.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, I'm at this place. How did this happen?
It's so inspirational, and you're around all these people, and it's
Oh my
just
God,
like
the people.
it's this similar thing, like when you're saying when you started in art school, and you're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you walk into that building, and it's the people who worked on the 90s films. It's the people who worked
I wonder if the greats have those moments, like the Marlins of Disney.
Marlon did have that moment. We
like,
talked about it.
I'm here.
Yeah. And continues to this day.
That's so cool. I hope that wonder like never leaves.
Right.
That's the whole Disney magic of it. I think that's why the films look so good. It's the people who make up that place that just like dedicate their passion to doing that.
Right.
And that it fosters that community.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
It's that love of what you get to do, which is
it shows.
It's rare,
Yeah.
you know? I think that's like the secret ingredient.
Yeah. It absolutely is. There's this thing at Disney, you know, we run out of time. We're running out of time. We always do.
Yeah.
We're always, you know, towards the end of the movie, we're like on top of each other trying to get this thing finished. We're working really hard. We're working long hours. And there's these notes that come in that it's like, oh, see this little thing right there? That's a hair that's out of place. Or this note says like it's too off. I don't know, a Post-it note in the back has words on it that's like too off center. Anything. And I'm like, we have to get this thing done.
Right.
And that's the note. But then I look at it, I'm like, those are the notes because everybody here loves the work.
Yeah.
And if it's not perfect, it doesn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we're like, fine, good enough, and sometimes we put out stuff we're not the most proud of, eventually in the end, with the lighting department, with all the departments that come together, it like does look the best at the end of the day.
Yeah, and every department picks each other up too.
100%.
So you're like, I took it as far as I can take it. Here's a baton.
Yes.
Please take it across the finish line.
You don't always get that with visual effects because you're rushing so much. It's like these quick, scrappy fixes. And of course, we do quick, scrappy fixes for things at Disney, but like someone else picks it up and makes it tenfold better.
Yeah.
In visual effects with commercials and other things, you don't always get that. I'm 13 years in now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, can I do this till I'm like 67? And I'm thinking like, I think so. Which is crazy.
So. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hope I get to. Yeah.
Thank you. I know your schedule is crazy busy. So thank you for taking some time to come here.
Oh my God, Nick, anytime for real.
Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Sounds good. Let's hang out soon.
Yes, please.
And thank you guys for watching this episode of Nick's Friends in Film. Please like, comment, and subscribe below. And also just let us know what your favorite Miyazaki film is, what your favorite Disney film is. We'd love to hear it. Let us know in the comments.
For sure.
Thanks again for watching.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Bye.